Hello, friends. Okay, I'm on the right screen. I wanted to make sure I was on the right screen before I shared. I was like, that'd be awkward. Um, okay, so we are gonna get started. Tonight we're talking about creating awesome content. And I know we've done team calls about content before, but my hope for this, I hope you all have a pen and paper or like something handy. Or if you're watching the recording, like go like hit pause and go get a pen and paper. Or if you don't have something to write on or your phone to take notes on, like grab something while I am doing the announcements, because I'm hoping when you walk away from this call today, you have like concrete ideas you can use for posts, because I'm going to walk you through something that my business coach and I went through, which helped me get like main ideas down for content I wanted to talk about. So then anytime I go to make a post, like I did this tonight, I went to my notes, pulled out some of these topics and decided what I wanted to use to talk about. So hopefully you can get some of those. I'm going to do some interactive stuff because I think it'd be kind of good to like build off of each other and some things you think about right away. We can either do that in the chat or you can unmute yourself and kind of throw out some ideas. But I think this would be a great way for us to kind of build some ideas for content, because I think we can be in like our creative phase where like we feel really good, we know what to talk about, but then we also have like these lulls where we're like, okay, I should post, but I have no idea on earth what I want to post about. And so I'm hoping that this can help you for when you have those moments. So first things first, some announcements. First off, June 27th, which is a week away. Sarah and I were talking today, Sarah Landis and I, and we're like, we don't want to talk about the end of June because it's like, I feel like June and like June is your main summer month, and then it's all downhill from there. And then before you know it, it's snowing again. But on June 27th, Strawberry Lemonade Energize comes out. I am super excited for this one. And the Lift More sample workout comes out. So that is crazy that in a week, Lift More sample launches. June 30th, I am hosting an all about coaching webinar. So I will be talking about that over the next week. In my stories, in my posts are going to be a little more coaching driven, and then inviting people to that. It is the Thursday night next week. And so I should really make sure I don't have anything going on. I don't think I have anything on my planner, but then July 13th through the 17th, the summit in St. Louis. I am so bummed. She was talking about it over and over in the National Wake Up Call today. And I was like, I just want to be at Summit so bad. But next year, I'm going to go. I'm going to find a way, whether I quit my job or something. No, I'm just kidding. I can't quit my job to go to Summit. But I'm going to find a way to go. And then July 19th, Lift More coach launch and preferred customer launch. August 2nd, Lift More customer launch. And then August 12th through the 14th is a super Saturday weekend. And I'm going to host one. People keep asking if it's like in Fargo. I just put Fargo because it was easier to say in Fargo than like where my house is. But I am hopefully going to host as many of you guys that can come out. And at my house, we're going to do some trainings. We're going to do a photo shoot. We're going to probably go into Fargo and do something fun. I don't know. They have like some really, I mean, they have fun things. Like I think an escape room would be really fun to do. So we'll probably do like either an escape room or something like that. Go out somewhere to eat. It is just, I have been like thinking of things and I'm super excited. So, maybe it'll just be Angie and I, which would be a fun escape room, but I'm hoping more of you guys can show up than just Angie and I. And if you're planning on carpooling with people, I mean, we've got people all over. So if you live in like, you know, by Sioux Falls, like I know there's people who live by Sioux Falls that are like multiples of you, or other things that we can get together, but we need an in-person team event because it has been way too long since we've all gotten together. So let's talk about content. Moving on from announcements, is that content is what connects you to others. It tells a story and it draws people to you. A really good book, if you have not read it yet, is, oh my God, I just blanked. What is the book called? It was the girl who was supposed to be the speaker at Summit COVID year. And it talks about like the old, what happened. Do you know it, Angie? Please tell me you know what I'm talking about. Kendra. Yeah, Kendra Hall. Okay, now I gotta Google it. Kendra Hall book. I literally have read this like 3 times. Kendra Hall, Stories That Stick. Okay, I don't know why that blanked from like literally just ran out the door. Stories That Stick is a really good personal development book that talks about content creation and how you kind of create like what was before, what was the explosion, and then the new thing. And so super good, tells a story, and it draws people to your page, because to be honest, if you're trying to get new people to follow you, the first thing they're going to do is look at your posts, and they may read a few, they may just look at the pictures and decide whether or not they want to follow you. So the static posts, like I think stories are super great for getting our day-to-day, who we are, connecting with people out there, but it's our feed posts that really are the things that are concrete, that stay there, that people can refer back to. And so this is a really important part of, so I'm going to talk, we've talked about stories a lot before. I'm talking about the static posts on your feed, which I think a lot of people on our team get hung up with. They're not posting, like I can tell you, I have posted day in and day out. I skip a few days here and there now that I've been doing this a while, but like I probably have posted, like let's even see here. I have posted almost 2,000 posts, like a lot, because I never used to use Instagram before I started coaching. So, you can equate that out to the 3.5 years I've been a coach, but it is super important. So if you're not posting on your feed consistently, that's something maybe you make a goal to work on. And even if it's like 3 days a week, and then you go to 4 days a week, and then 5 days a week, I'm hoping this will equip you so that you feel better able to make posts, because they are important for people to see. So first things first, here's a few things I just want to cover. If you don't have a public profile, I personally highly suggest a public profile if you want to grow your following. I know some people aren't comfortable with having a public profile, which is fine. You're able to do this any way you want. But I'm going to tell you, it will be harder for you to find new people, for new people to find you, because again, people want to go on your feed and they want to, my phone, obviously, because the cameras never like it, they want to be able to creep and kind of decide, is this a person I want to follow or not? And I know it's even hard for me if they have a private profile to even see what they're about, unless they have a very descriptive bio. So I highly suggest a public Instagram. You can still block people or have people like unfollow you. So if you see like some weirdo creeped up and popped in on you, you can just like, boop, do that. Number 2, good photos. You want to have clear and bright photos. You might look at some of our photos on here and you're like, how the hell do they get those? One, I have a light ring. I bought it $30 on Amazon. I've had it for a long time now. I love it. Number 2, prop your phone outside or up in front of a window, or like have someone go out and shoot pictures of you, right? Get together with a friend and be like, hey, can we like, oh, this is a cute picture. Let's do this. Or there's a lot of times I take my pictures on Sundays, because Sunday is really the only day of the week I get dressed up, because I get dressed up for church. So like after church, I'm like, let's take some photos. And then anytime like you look nice, like just take photos, or you see a fun opportunity, like don't be afraid. Like, I don't know. I guess I used to always be like, I don't want to like be that person. And I'm like, I don't give a crap. I'm going to be that person. And then be you. Stop trying to be someone else. Be you, right? Because that's what we're going to connect with, is who you are. Like, I am so weird. I talk a lot. Like, there's so many things that like I thought I had to change about myself, or like I'd redo an Instagram post, like I'd redo my stories 87 times, and then I'm like, screw it, I'm just going to be who I am. And that's when I've really found growth, is because people want to see the real you, not like the recreation of someone else. So this is where we're going to pull out your piece of paper or your notes in your phone or whatever, and we're going to go through some questions. So I should have had these pop up so like they're one at a time, so you can't get ahead of yourself here. So a few question is like, first, I want to start with this one right over here. So what are your pain points or problems? So this is what I want you to think about. And this is where you're going to kind of brain dump some ideas of content, right? And maybe this conversation is, what were pain points and problems before you started Beachbody, right? Or you think of girls that you are serving, right? Moms, teachers, people who are pregnant, whoever, right? What are the pain points or the problems that when you were that person before you signed up, What are some things you faced, right? Is it how you look, right? Did you feel uncomfortable? Did you go to the pool and you try to hide yourself, right? Did you feel like you weren't ever able to wear shorts? Is it loving yourself, right? You felt like the only time you deserved love was when you were busy doing all the things. And so you were pouring yourself out and never taking time for yourself. Is it believing you can make an income with something other than a 9 to 5, right? Is it a pain point right now? Is it gas prices, grocery prices, right? Like I think about the fact that like grocery bills are more expensive than they've ever been before. Like, right? Is that a pain point or a problem? Struggling mentally, right? Some of the things I pulled up my notes, some of my pain points, right? I talked about like feeling like you don't have time, right? Summer's not a good time. I'm so busy, so hectic, right? Or you pour so much into other people that you feel like a circus ringleader, but at the end of it, you feel burnt out. Maybe a pain point is like a negative mindset, right? What you focus on expands. So then I kind of like went back and really dove into these. Is it a lack of confidence, right? Do people leave teaching because they don't like teaching? Or do they leave teaching because they feel like they don't have the confidence? Because I know when I student taught, I almost left teaching and I realized it was a lack of confidence in what I was doing. Being open-minded to replacing incomes, right? A lot of people would rather have 2 jobs than try network marketing. Feeling pressured to make more money in a professional way. Okay, changing the outlook on your career, all those. So if anyone wants to share any that they're thinking of, like definitely feel free to either type it in the comments, you can unmute yourself, right? If there's any that you're like, this is a pain point, like I felt when I got started. My big pain point was like, I kind of posted about it today, like I had no morning routine. Like I would roll out of bed, like hurry to get ready and walk out the door. And then I felt like my day was just mass chaos because it was one thing. Like I felt behind before the day even started. So something for you guys to kind of think about. Let's see here. I have a lot of moms that feel guilty. Yes, honestly, huge pain point. Pain point is spending money, not only money, but time, right? Like I think of moms who are like, well, I just need to soak in this time. I can't take 30 minutes to go do a workout. My kids need me. And so I think that is a great point. Anyone else got some pain points they want to share or things that maybe when they started, they feel like kind of held them back? Do I need to get my cricket meme out? I almost posted a cricket meme in our challenge group today, but then I decided that was a little too much. So I did a thing. Okay, maybe you'll have one as we go. Feel free to drop anything as you go, as we go along. So the next kind of topic of posts would be like, what are your visions and goals? Guys, I know that this organization, I'm calling it like an organization or a group of women, are the first people I met that really set goals in their adulthood. Like, I don't know how many people like actually set goals outside of this circle. Like my husband doesn't set goals, and my husband works like in a university setting. Like he works with higher up big brain human beings. And I don't know any of them that like set goals every year. Like, I think of teachers, right? We can have goals of like to have a good year. We can have as ag teachers, like to have a team place in the top, whatever, but that's not like a concrete life goal. So what are some of the visions and goals for your life, right? Is it enjoying getting out of bed? Talked about that in my post too, right? Creating a stream of income. I am all about lately, like diversifying income opportunities. Okay. Going on a vacation, right? Maybe that's your dream and vision, like to someday just be able to go on a vacation with you and your husband or you and your mom and just have the time of your life. Maybe I always think like going out to dinner and allowing yourself to actually buy the drinks instead of water because you like want to celebrate. Maybe it's being happy, being a role model, right? But what are your visions and goals for life? So again, feel free to start. If you want to, anyone want to share any? I know Sarah shared pain points as I felt like she didn't have a purpose throughout her day. Teaching became all she had, of having so many other things going on in my life. Yeah, so totally can relate. So what are some visions and goals you guys have, right? We all have visions and goals. I can get us started if people want to type. I would love if you type. Or I mean, you can talk too, but so some of mine were like, right, decreasing stress. Okay. Decreasing stress, coming home and not being so tired. I talk to people all the time. I just talked to a gal who she said, I don't know what to do. Like, I want to work out, but I come home from work and I literally feel exhausted that the only thing I can do is lay on my couch and I can't do anything else. Like, we all know that feeling. And so more energy, right? I think of feeling energetic, right? We talked about that compartment, learning how to shift your mindset between home and work life, shutting it off. People ask me all the time. I tell people in meetings all the time, like, I don't bring my work computer home. My school does not, like, schoolwork does not leave school. Yeah, I talked to Shane about it, and there's some phone things I'll answer email on my phone, but like, I don't come home and work for hours. And people are like, how do you do that? I'm like, because I have compartmentalized like the juggling elephants thing, right? Like, when I'm at school, that's school time. When I'm at home, that's home time, and etc. Being able to be healthy and have more energy. Exactly. You've got some wild boys on that farm. And I can only imagine when they're teenagers. Like, I think of them now, but I'm like, think of them when they're like in that like 10-year-old phase and they're like just wild. And so I think of living life like you're dreading life. I talked about in my post, like Shane, a lot of you guys knew at his last job, like, he literally would not go to bed because he didn't want to wake up and go to work in the morning. Like, how many other people are living that life that like they don't even want to go to sleep because sleep just means they wake up and go to a job they don't like, which is just insane to me to live life that way. People want to feel healthy, mental health, confidence, being so sure of yourself, being able to wear what you want and do whatever you desire to do. Like, I think of crop tops. Like, if you want to wear the crop top and you have the confidence for a crop top, like, that's something I still struggle with. Wanted to create healthy habits and exercise for being an example. Love it. Okay. What is your personal opinion? Not everyone will agree with. I'm just saying, a good way to find your people is to ruffle some feathers. Not everyone has to like you. I'm just going to be honest. Like, there are people who do not like me because I am too opinionated or I share my point of view. But these are some things, like, for example, if you saw my reel last night, right? Like, I posted something that was like, if someone wanted to, they could get really mad at me. Like, someone lied to you. If you didn't see it, it was when someone says their friend told them an easy way to lose weight without working or something, like working for it. Right? Like, weight loss pills are jokes, right? Like, I have a girl who constantly I'm seeing post about it works. And I'm like, it does not work. Like, I don't know anyone who's done it works in the long term unless they were a distributor to try to make money, right? Not everyone is willing to work hard. I've talked about that before. Like, I really, so feel free to like post some opinions like that could, that people would get fired up about. And it doesn't have to be just health and fitness, right? Like, I have posted controversial things about teaching. I have posted about how I love teaching, but hate how teachers are treated. It's not a one size fits all, right? Like, I have purposely talked about, like, our programs are not meant for every single human being, right? Not everyone's going to thrive with Beachbody because some people physically cannot make themselves do an at-home workout. Like, they have to go somewhere else. I've talked about not everyone's willing to spend the money. You cannot believe everything out there. You have to have the right coach, right? That's a huge thing. I have people all the time who are like, I already have a coach. And I'm like, but does your coach do anything to help you? And they're like, well, no. Right. Let's see, Angie and I have talked, a lot of us have talked about this one, right? People don't prioritize their life properly, going out on the weekends with friends, but won't move your body. You'll spend $200 on a new outfit, but you won't spend $200 on health for a year. Why can't you do that? Right. We've talked about people who will say it's too expensive to sign up, but then you see on their story that they're out at the bar all night long, which, right? Who knows? We can't judge. Maybe they had a guy buying their drinks all night. I don't know, but gut health was a big one I talked about because right, like, right as our program came out, there was a dietitian who came out like debunking the whole thing, saying this was actually an awful program to do and it had no scientific backing, which I disagreed with, but had to come out and talk about that. Um, Personal opinion, you don't have to be certified in something to know how to do something. I had someone tell me, it was actually one of Angie and I's family members tell us that I love the eye roll, that I couldn't talk about health and fitness because I don't have a degree in exercise science. So I had no right talking to people about fitness. Okay, so you had no right, like, and she posts recipes all the time. And I want to be like, you didn't go to culinary school. You can't talk to people about food. Like, and so, right, things that ruffle feathers. So if you think of any good ones, feel free to drop them in the chat. I know Peyton said, when I started, I just wanted to feel fit and strong. Oh, I agree. Further your health when you're old and gray. Like, I want to be that old granny who's like kicking ass. Like, okay, I want to be Sarah G's grandpa who's like literally bringing home the like, I can't remember what they're called. This is so not politically correct. So I apologize, Sarah, you can correct me. It's like old people Olympics. Like, I can't remember, like, but he like literally runs and does all this cool stuff, and he is old and I love it. National Senior Games. Thank you. I knew I was going to butcher that, but you all love me and won't judge me. So National Senior Games, but he's like out there kicking butt, and he's like, what, 90 something, I think. Sarah G can correct me, but it's like, I want to be that. Like, I don't want to be my mother-in-law will never watch this. My mother-in-law who is like 65 and like can't even walk outside. Like, she literally is like, so like, just has never taken care, 92, and he's like literally probably faster than he probably can run faster than me. But think about the long-term health. So things that not everyone's going to agree with, right? Like, you have to sacrifice something now for later. So hopefully you guys are getting some good things, and hopefully you're writing as I'm talking about some of these things. Okay, I have a few more for you. Okay, what stories are you telling yourself? Okay, so these are stories you can make up in your head, or storytelling in general, right? But what are some stories you're telling yourself? You're not good enough. You feel judged. You're too busy. You don't have to do it all, right? Like, that one's kind of different. Like, it doesn't go with it. Like, you don't have to do it all, right? We tell ourselves we have to do everything. We have to cook. We have to clean. We have to take care of the kids. We have to, do everything at our job. We have to do all these things. So what are the stories or the lies that you're telling yourself? I think of like that you don't have to do it all, right? Talk about if you do grocery pickup. I know some people, like, because of COVID, they're like, I will never step foot in a grocery store again. I am only ordering groceries online. And like, power to you. Talk to people about that. Talk to people about how you have taken things that you hate doing and like hiring someone to do them. I know people who hire people to clean their house once a month because they don't want to spend the time cleaning, which is fine because you don't have to do it all. And so talk about the stories that you are telling yourself, because people are probably telling themselves the same thing, right? All of us on this call have probably not felt good enough. All of us on this call have probably felt judged at some point. All of us have probably not posted something because we were worried about being judged for what we posted. So you're not alone in this, and your followers, you want them to know they're not alone either, because they're going to resonate with you, and they're going to really like connect with you when they see those parts of you. Then up top, we have client wins and transformations. Showcase others and talk about what they're doing to rock their journey, even if it's another coach on the team, even if it is checking in with your challengers and taking a screenshot. Like, iPhone has the great thing, or like, I think Angie's just like cropped the photos before. So it's just that message. You can even, if you want, like I've gone on Instagram because I find that easiest, and like whited out the name and stuff like that. You can also just ask them, like, wow, this is awesome. You're feeling like this. Do you mind if I share this on social? And a lot of times they won't mind. But talk about them and what they're doing to rock their journey, because I think it's kind of the whole thing of like, we can talk about it until we're blue in the face. But then when someone else sees it from someone else, they're like, oh, that's a real human being. I try to always tag them, because I feel like if I could, like, I talked about Sarah in my story, like, if I tag them, obviously then they can reshare it too, which expands my outreach. But like, if they can go click on that name and see that it's a real human being and see their posts and stuff, that it's not just me, like, when people just like post all those photos of random human beings, I'm like, are these real or not? Because I don't know. And then lastly, what are the other things you enjoy helping others with, right? Can you talk for days about healthy swaps? Do you have tips on parenthood, right? Do you have tips on like having 3 children like under, what do you have, Mackenzie? 3 under 3? Was it 3 under 3? Yeah. So like, how do you manage 3 under 3? Because I think some people like think that having like 2 children under 4, like is mass chaos, which it is. But like, you know, do you want to help future mamas, right? I think of Peyton, who is like completely rocking her workouts during pregnancy. And there's other ladies in this group who have rocked their workouts during pregnancy. Like, how do you do it? Like, how do you have the energy to do it, right? Why do you do it? So what are some things you really enjoy helping others with, and post about that? Because it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter how specific you get. People like specific, believe it or not. Not saying you have to niche down and like only talk about like, I don't know, your favorite baby items, but people really like latch onto that, and people really like specific things. Like, I am always looking at Angie's food, because Angie, I think, does way better about food than I do. So I'm like always looking at her content for the food she's eating and like swaps she's making. And so there's so many things. Like, what do you enjoy talking about? Like, what do you enjoy helping others with? Because then when you like, I would say my thing is like more so motivation. Like, I don't have anything I feel like I am extremely good at besides like that kick in the ass attitude. And so I try to like show people that, and how to like get routine and a kick in the butt. But whatever you love talking about, talk about it. You might be like, no one wants to hear about my favorite baby bottle. Lies, they do. Like, people love to hear about things, or like anything, right? Whatever you help enjoying people with. And oh my God, I didn't change these photos. I'm deleting them because they're really creepy. Awkward little children. Forgot to change those, obviously. So remember, likes do not matter. So many people get so caught up in like how many people are liking their photos. Likes are really not a good metric to go by. I go by accounts reach, or like the engagement, or even like your call to action. So I was talking to Sarah Landis, and I said, you know, like one thing I've kind of switched to, instead of saying like comment on my post if you want to join my group or something, because a lot of people are like scaredy cats, which I get, because if someone's like, if you want to lose 10 pounds, comment on my post, I probably wouldn't be like, yeah, right. So I have a link in my bio, and I said, you know, if you want more details and if you want to chat about if this is for you, fill out the link in my bio. It's like 5 questions. You can all go click on the link in my bio and see what it is. Super simple Google form. I get an email if someone filled it out. I posted that around 7:20 before we hopped on, and I got an email during the call that someone filled out the link in my bio. So right there, that's telling me that like that content moved someone to take action. And that's all I need to know. So stop judging your content based on likes. Focus on serving others, and the reward will come, guys. I will tell you, my best posts, like the posts I think are the best well-written, get the least amount of likes. And I think that's because it's for a specific person who is like me. And so you might be upset because it's like, whenever I fill out whenever I post content about fitness, rarely do I get good likes. It's always my content that's like a picture of my dog or a picture of Shane and I that does the best, but has no like power behind the punch. And then narrow down your focus. It's okay to get really specific and do details. You don't have to be super broad to try to reach everyone, because you'll reach the you that you needed when you got started. So think of, you're talking to the woman who was in your shoes, and like, what did you need to hear for you to finally say yes, right? Like, think about what made you finally say yes, and channel that human being that needs you. So do you have any questions? I'm hoping, I see people taking notes. I'm hoping that while we kind of talked about this, you were kind of brainstorming, writing some things about what you can do, or like things to post about. We can share these for sure, like if you want to. And so, yeah, any questions or anything? So I hope you have a long list. I'd really encourage you, keep working on this list. You can kind of go back through those guiding questions and decide, you know, what are some things stories you can tell, things you're telling yourself, and just kind of create a list. Like, I have it on a Google, again, you can't ever see phones. I have a Google Doc, and this is all the things I just went through with you. And it's like 3 pages of what are my pain problems, what are my visions and goals, personal opinions, etc. Can you put these in slides? Yes, I will put these slides in our Google Drive. And then to feel free, like on the team call, if you kind of want to add some, or if you have anything you want to brainstorm further, let me know. Um, just another little plug, if you want a one-on-one chat, this is for anyone in the downline. You don't have to be my personally sponsored coach. If you want a one-on-one chat with me, make sure you go fill out the timesheet. It's in the group. I just ask that you sign up at least 24 hours in advance for a time, because then I can adequately plan. I'm going to be traveling a little bit this week, but I'm still going to prioritize those. But it's good if I know ahead of time, so I can kind of like figure out how I'm going to handle that. And then it's super good. We're just going to go through a few different things. Sarah and G and I did hers, but I want to be better at mentoring you guys now that I have more time. So I will put these slides in our Google Drive. There will be a recording for anyone who wasn't on live. And I hope you guys, now I think it's Sunday, because we always did team calls on Sunday. So I'm like, have a great week. But I still hope you have a great week. And I can't wait to see all the great content you guys post. Bye, guys.